Hi guys, so I've been back at my parents' for about 6 months now and I'm finally ready to show you guys a room tour. Oh my god. I wasn't originally going to do one of these because I've done a tour of this room maybe about 4 years ago before I moved out, and I didn't honestly expect to be back here at all, and definitely not for as long as I have been. I've been here for about 6 months and I'm going to be here for at least another couple of months until the summer. So yeah, let's just get straight onto it. So over on this side of my room I've got my door, and then I've got this tiny little door that leads into a small kind of storage space. In here I keep like my guitar bags, my keyboard bag, I've got some kind of big jackets that I never wear, and then a whole bunch of paperwork from college and uni and stuff. Just miscellaneous boxes for things, so that's all in there. I don't go in there very often. I also have this kind of crappy mirror that I got from IKEA ages ago. In fact, I think it was in my first video. Over here is where I keep all of my jackets, and I've got some kind of big onesies. They're not very goth, but who cares, they're warm. No one's gonna see them usually. And I've got like dressing gowns and stuff, and just kind of all my nice jackets. Over on this door I have a whole bunch of different things. I've got the majority of my jewellery, all my chokers. I don't really wear these anymore. I've got some kind of more kitten play type ones that I still use for shoots. In the middle here I've got a whole bunch of necklaces that I don't wear too often. And then on this little one I have kind of necklaces that I do wear more often. So I've got a bunch of Crypt of Curiosities ones, a couple of ones that I got as gifts, and so on. And over here I just have this bag because I use this one most of the time. I like to have it nice and handy. I've got my spiked headband just because I've got nowhere else kind of decent to put it where I won't forget about it. And then I've got all my lanyards from different events. I just kind of like having these so I can look at them. So I've got my model pass from Sexhibition. I've got my one from when I was staff and performed at Lesfest, which is now Wildfire Fest. And then I've got both of my Whitby Goth Weekend ones. Hopefully I'll get another one of these next time. I really like them. Then over in the start corner I have my softbox. I'm constantly too lazy to put it down and take it back up again, so it just sort of stays awkwardly in this corner. I do have two. If you've noticed in a bunch of my videos, like for the last month or two, my lighting's been kind of off or fluctuating or weird. It's because I have two of these and the bulb for one of them is broken, so I'm down to using one until I get a new bulb. That's probably why my lighting's been a bit funky and weird. So that stays in there because there's the only place for it. Then I've got my mic stand. Usually the stand for this camera also stays in there, and then I've got my yoga mat because I do exercise every single day. If we go onto this desk, this used to be my uncle's, and when I came back to live here it was up here, and my parents basically told me, yeah, we've got nowhere else to put it, so you're just gonna have to live with it. So I've made it into a kind of makeup desk with all of my stuff. Over here, because I've got nowhere else to put them, I've got like my straighteners, I've got hair extensions and stuff that I never really use. I've got some random paperwork, I've got all my financial stuff, I've got various other little plastic bags to put rubbish in. I've got all my stuff, like my toiletries that I take down when I have baths and stuff, so I can just pull that out and bring it downstairs. Underneath here is a bit of a mess, but I have basically the big box at the bottom is full of all my latex, and then I've got my latex shiners. A couple of the other boxes are full of different bits and bobs for making outfits and harnesses and stuff that I haven't got around to doing yet. I've got a whole load of fishnet in that box, that's why it's partially open. I've got a first aid box. I've got my bucket for my monthly hauls that just sort of lives in there. I've got a big Soap and Glory travel case full of more toiletries. I've got my little jewellery case, and then I've got the case that I keep all my photo shoot makeup in. These drawers have loads of my dad's stuff in them, so I don't even touch them. In this little bit here, I have all of my palettes. It's a bit of a mess because I've just done my makeup, but I've got all my palettes, I've got my mouse, my keyboard, and then just stashed in here I have my everyday makeup that'll go in my bag later today. And actually on my desk I just have this kind of crappy mirror that I can never get completely clean. It probably looks totally gross, but it just doesn't stay clean at all. I've got this little box that I have different bits and bobs of jewellery in, like rings and badges and stuff, and latex hair bows apparently. I've got little containers for Kirby's and tweezers and makeup brushes and stationery and regular hair brushes. Got all my nail polish. I've got this little light. This is my favourite thing right now. I got told to buy it. It's just like a ring light for your phone, and it helps me take such better pictures. Holy crap. In this little box I have baubles and decorative like hair pieces, like little clips. I've got all my earrings on this little tree. Got all my lipsticks and lip liners. Then I have all of my Living Dead dolls because I had nowhere else to put them. Get a can of Coke because I've got a genuine issue with Coke. Little magnifying mirror. And then I've just found it to be easier to have all of my stuff that I use regularly just out so that I see it and I don't forget about it. There's not really any structure to these. I mean, there's hair stuff like hairspray and everything. These are kind of more scent things. I've got a bunch of skin stuff for my skin condition. Here's some new stuff that I use every day, my night and day cream. And in here I've got lip glosses, various hand creams and lip balms. This is my wardrobe. It's huge. It's not ideal at all, but because my room is slanted, as you can see, there aren't too many places for me to put it. So this is my wardrobe. I was planning on maybe doing a proper wardrobe tour video and showing you guys, but this setup really isn't ideal for me and I kind of want to wait till I move so I can get proper rails and have everything out and show you guys. I recently got rid of a lot of clothes. I'm kind of changing my style up a bit, so that's why it looks so bare. I've just got belts and scarves and jumpers, jackets and skirts and dresses. And then I've just got all my shoes. These are all the ones I wear most often. Then I've got heels that I don't wear too often, and then at the bottom I've got stuff that I almost never wear, just kind of flats and boots, and then those boxes are shoes that I literally never wear and are kind of gross, so I just put them in the boxes so I don't really have to look at them. So over here's my chest of drawers. I've got like socks and pants and a whole drawer full of bras, pyjamas, t-shirts, trousers and shorts and leggings. And then in the very bottom shelf I've got various photo shoot stuff. I've got corsets and like garter belts and different tights and stuff like that, just general stuff that doesn't really go anywhere else. On the top here I've got loads of collectibles. I'll actually bring you in closer so you can see everything properly. Over here I have all my witchy sort of skull stuff. Up at the top I've got a shed snakeskin from my old roommate Snake. She gave it to me as a present. I've got my little deer skull. I've got this cute little thing that has an incense burner and this little bird skull that I got off my good friend Beth. I've got some little paraphernalia, this really cute bottle that I got at a vintage store. I've got a little incense box, a candle, and this cute little crow figurine. I got this from the vintage place as well. It's a grouse's foot with a little gem and a little stag. It's so Scottish. I've got another little skull, some candles, more skulls, these little things that have like fox bones and stuff. I believe these are fox vertebrae, and then just like a half of a bird's beak. Over here I have all my Funko Pops. I have them loosely arranged, so I've got my Warcraft ones, my Dragon Ball ones. This middle section are all ones that I bought because I really fancy the characters, because I'm a fucking weirdo. So we've got Alex the Large from Clockwork Orange, we've got Handsome Jack from Borderlands, Hannibal Lecter, and Joffrey from Game of Thrones because he's perfect. One day, if they make one, I don't know if they have one, I'll get a Ramsay Bolton, but until then I've just got Joffrey. And then over here I've just got some miscellaneous ones, so I've got Kylo Ren, Misty Day from American Horror Story, and Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn. I've also got the same character in figurine form. So for my figurines I've got Supersonico Balfir from Final Fantasy XII, Harley Quinn. I've got one of the Wire Twins from Clive Barker's Hellraiser series. This is from Clive Barker's Tortured Souls. This is Camille Noir. She's really cool. And then I've got these two little Vegeta figures because Vegeta's my favourite Dragon Ball character and I fucking love Dragon Ball. I've got a massive Dragon Ball tattoo. This is just a little Tokidoki, and then I got this from Disneyland. It's like a Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. Then over here I've just got my money boxes. This Jack one's just for like loose change, and then this one is for when I move. This has got like notes and stuff in it. So moving on a bit from here, if you've seen my first room tour, you'll know that these are a lot less posters than I originally had. I used to have posters like coming up all of this wall, and I think a little bit onto this wall as well. But now I don't. When I came back I just wanted to put up a couple of them. So I've got my Voltaire one, Army of Darkness, Borderlands because it's like my favourite game series ever, and then I've got a William Control one, and then one from his tour last summer that I went to. It was really, really fun. And then over here I've got some gig tickets from gigs that I've been to the last couple of months. The green one is from when I performed on stage. I danced on stage for Kieran Robertson. It was really cool. I got one of those. Then I've just got a Birthday Massacre one, John 5, my friend's band Hands Off Gretel, they're so good, and Eric 13 from Combi Christ, that was so fun. Over here I have my instrument stand. I've got my violin at the back because I never use it. I need to start actually playing the violin again. I'm so rusty. I'm probably like back down to grade 2, my muscle memory is probably completely gone. Got my guitar, my baby, I love it so much. I've also got my bass, who's now my new baby. I use him so often now that I play a couple of songs on bass for my band, Blacklight District. Then over here's my bed. The red bed sheets don't go with the rest of the room, but I don't care. Just got all of my plushies. I have way too many. This little container holds all of my photo shoot outfits. I've got stuff that I haven't shot in yet, stuff that I use all the time, my wigs, and kind of in a bag I've got all the lingerie that I haven't shot in as well, so that just sort of lives in there. And on the very top I've got a list of everything that's in there because I'm just that organised. And then just on the top here I've got my mermaid blanket. I like to put that on when I'm working. Sometimes I'll just work like on my bed, and the last thing I want to do is actually get into my bed properly because I'll fall asleep or not do any work. So I've got that. I've got all of the notepads that I use all the time, so I've got my diary, my songwriting book, and then just the book that I write lists and to-do stuff in. And then just in this little box I have all my washi tape and the pens that I use all the time. Over here I have my keyboard. I need to start using this more often. I just completely forget about it almost. I know it's weird, it like takes up a huge amount of my room, but I just like completely forget about it. On the top of it I've got my sunglasses, my microphone, my loop pedal in that little box there. And underneath I store all of my hats because I don't have anywhere else to really put them. All of my hats live just in this little alcove. I've got my laptop bag, my street amp, just various cables, my overnight bag. Then I've just got my 2 amps, my kind of good one and my kind of crappy small one. All of my music related cables. This is my bookcase. On the top of it I keep different chargers and SD cards and like sewing stuff, just random crap that'll fit in that tiny little space, just sort of lives there. I've got all of my perfumes in this little bit here. I've got a signed William Control CD, and I've got a Hands Off Gretel one as well. My books are sort of organised, so I've got all my witchy ones. I've got my Lovecraft one, and then all of my notepads. All my CDs obviously in the middle, and some empty jewellery boxes. I've got some manga. I used to have so much manga. My sister's got most of it now. I've got my Kindle, business cards, a bag that I need to give back to someone. I've got my Oracle cards, all of my Lord of the Rings books, some kind of darker ones. I've got the Alien Omnibus and some Stephen King and stuff. And then for the most part at the bottom it's just random books, music books. And over in this corner I've got my TV, my Xbox 360, my PS2, and then just in this little space I keep my suitcase and all of my other bags, and randomly I've got my Midget baton, just, you know, because. So yeah, that's pretty much everything in my room. I feel like I've matured a lot since my very first room tour video. I know I've done a couple in my flats and stuff. I'm looking forward to doing one once I move into my actual flat down in Manchester. Fingers crossed it'll be amazing and I'll be able to actually do a lot of stuff with it. Basically, as soon as I moved out, my parents made this room really lame, and it's taken till now to make it kind of semi quote-unquote goth and dark. They painted the walls like light blue, they got rid of my black carpet, they put in this desk, so there's not been a lot that I can do with it. but I'm pretty happy with where I am right now, so that's good, I guess. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again really soon. Bye bye.